and have a new world be born that is not based on such dominance. And here, I don't think dominance, it doesn't look the same way, but there's a million ways that dominance is just exerted through our economic mechanism. Yes, and we are millions of people that are not necessarily doing what we don't want to do because we are dominated by an economic system. And so dominance as such to other people is something we become used to for 5,000 years. And this way we'll break it up. Yeah. And we will, and meaning that it also puts a new responsibility on us to sort of act. It will mean there's no one to blame.
Yes.
If there's nobody dominating you, there's no one to blame. That's just me. Whatever I do wrong, that's I did it. And then again, and coming back to the same theme, that how do you deal with this in such a chaotic world? Well, you have to find the ways of surrendering to the divine and establish your own relationship to the divine, so that you get that guidance and maybe you won't. We're all what shall I say? We're all seeking our ways to find that relationship, and maybe it won't work the first time, but eventually we'll develop it.
A lot of people talk about nature, Earth, or Gaia Sophia being alive and conscious, and that she is also moving, as are the other planets, shifting into higher frequencies. And what's your feeling about our planet itself uniting with humanity during this wave of unity consciousness? We seem to have been so disconnected from her and treating her so poorly. And yet the animals are all connected. They know when earthquakes will happen. And do you see us joining the collective telepathically and uniting also with the planet and with the cosmos? I mean, is this all going to be an expansion of non-local consciousness, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's... I think these are all aspects of the same thing, really. I think we've... Each of these waves brings a certain filter to our mind. These filters have tended to separate us from the divine and from the cosmos and the earth and our fellow human beings and from the animals and from the plants and all of these things. Ultimately, they are all one... They come out of one perception, one filter that is coming. And as that filter breaks down and disappears, which I believe is what the ninth wave is all about, then we will see alternations, changes in all of these relationships. It comes with it's just one... We'll see that as we heal our relationships to the divine and are able to get direct guidance, we will find that will affect also how we relate to the animals, to the plants, to the earth, and so forth. And so it's all connected as far as I can tell.
Good. Now, I know everybody's going to be wondering, because this is something that we can't look into because things are shifting so rapidly. I can't hardly keep up with my own day, but I know a lot of people will be wondering what might things look like after October 28th, 2011 and beyond. Is this going to be a stable period after all of these shifts occur?
Yeah, it's naturally we do wonder about that, and naturally we do that. And yes, my sense is that both yes and no. On one level, let me backtrack a little bit. That each of these waves are which develop 13 energies has a direction. It's not just a wave, but it's also in the Mayan tradition. It's also a process from seed to mature fruit. So what this means is that we've all been affected by these directed waves. And whenever there's been shifts in these waves, we're all a little bit shaken up, I guess. Mm-hmm. And our old ways of being do not quite apply whenever there's been a shift. And so the first thing I like to say is that, you hear a lot of people saying that there is a shift coming. And my view is more or less opposite to that. Because from my studies of the Mayan calendar, I find that shifts have been going on forever in this universe. And it's the shift in the cosmic field that has driven all of evolution, all of the paradigm shifts, all of the changes that we've been part of. So if anything, when all these 9 waves are sort of coming to their completion and fulfilling the plan, in a certain sense, I think it's the end to the shifts, which to me is just good news. Finally, maybe I won't be completely every other day shaken out of my balance.
Right.
And that's really, to me, that's really why I think truly that world holds an authentic promise of eternal peace. Because what really has created all the violence and warfares and so forth in the history of humanity are these shifts. When there have been shifts in the cosmos, it manifests down among the human beings as some kind of a shift in the relationships of power. And whenever there is such a shift, then somebody will take it out on another and establish a new kind of dominance.
Yes.
But if these shifts are coming to an end, then we will. Then I think that holds a lot of promise to me. But at the same time, I'm grappling with this. At the same time, I think the waves may actually just be going on, and that we are now, what we really need to do is learn to live with these waves. What I'm saying may sound a little bit paradoxical, and which is not to surprise us, because I think reality at that point will be very, very different from what it is now. So it's no wonder that I'm grappling with the question that you're saying. But ultimately, I think what will happen is that unity consciousness, which is the purpose of the 9th wave, to bring to people a new field through which we perceive reality, will be established. And as that happens, there is a completely new stage for life, a completely new a promise of of peace and a relationship with the earth, in which we're all one, basically. But at the same time, it's not. I don't think it will be a dead reality for that reason. Something will continue to go on, yeah. As you can hear, my answer is not complete, and I think
that's okay. I don't think anybody has a complete answer.
Yeah.
But you know, it makes sense that if we believe that the spirit or soul continues after the body drops, then it just makes sense that there will be something that will continue, and it just won't be what it was. And this is an evolutionary and an unprecedented leap in which the game board that we've been on for so long is simply coming to an end. And there may be a new game, right? Or we may be creating our own. We don't know yet, do we?
Yeah.
Yes. So, but it won't be this. Whatever this was, it was a Monopoly game, and you can only play Monopoly so long, a few days, a week. And then, you know, eventually somebody gets all the hotels, and you land on one, and it's over. And it seems like our financial system has done that. I mean, they're just...
good.
You know, and I think you were right in calling the 2008 collapse, but I think that the powers that be patched things up and postponed it, which would have to do with our collective consciousness not being ready for the collapse. So it would make sense, because it has to happen, that the old would have to be taken away, that would happen at some point in the destruction period of this ninth wave. It's inevitable.
Yes, absolutely. Well said.
Okay.
And the monopoly metaphor is a great metaphor. At some point, somebody has sold the hotels, and I'm sure there's somebody who has sold the hotels now.
You know, and we're blasted with ads and paper ads that we get in the mail. Where the tree's going to come from? I mean, we're just so out of balance that. It simply cannot go on. There will be a point where just a day will come and everything will just grind to a halt.
Yes.
You know, how many diamond-studded Mercedes sports cars can the sheiks in other countries have in their stables with Rolls Royces, and we're inundated with who has the most fabulous house and this and that. And all of that is just so shallow.